yeah, you vicariously live through somebody, whether it's through their eating or shopping or doing anything to excess. I think that's a kick some people get out of constantly watching videos like this where you're being excessive. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jess. If you love shopping and handbag videos and fashion topics, like and subscribe to my channel, guys, because I love blabbing on a lot about handbags and fashion. So yes, well, last night, guys, I was watching YouTube, you know, just winding down, and I actually started watching a new channel. Well, it's not a new channel, she's been posting YouTubes for a very long time. She has a massive following, called Jamie French, and she kind of dissects trending things that are happening on social media. She talked about in one of her videos how mukbang videos have become a multi-million-dollar industry, and I found it very fascinating because a lot of the psychological reasons why I think people engage in watching mukbangs, I feel like are very similar to the reasons why some people watch luxury unboxings. And I wanted to talk about the reasons why do we watch luxury YouTube, and how does it make us feel, what draws us in, and what is it that makes luxury unboxings so addictive to watch. I think that with mukbang videos, which if you don't know what mukbang is, it's when somebody is like eating and then also talking on camera, and it originated in Korea as a way of giving someone a sense that they're eating dinner with somebody. It was a way to feel less lonely and kind of feel like you have a friend. So people would film themselves eating like live and then just talking. And it was never like at first a thing that was like excessive eating. It was just like, you know, eating a meal and talking. And I would say that on luxury YouTube, I do get this sense of sometimes when I watch a luxury YouTuber, or I even try to give off a sense myself that I'm talking to a friend or I'm just having a casual conversation. And I know that sometimes makes people feel secure and like they have someone to talk to, especially at the end of a long day. You just want to relax and unwind, and sometimes watching someone share something they've bought, or just simply eat a food or show their collection of something can be quite relaxing, and you can kind of develop this yeah, like feeling like you're talking to someone. So first reason why mukbangs and luxury unboxings could be similar is you're getting like kind of like you feel like you're having a talk with somebody in real life. You're getting kind of like a friendship with someone online, even though it's not in real life necessarily. Psychologically, you get this sense that you're talking to someone, and that sometimes that makes you feel more secure and comfortable. Second thing is, I think, the shock value. So when mukbangs started to turn into like overconsumption and eating excessive amounts of foods and really weird foods, and it goes down a dark rabbit hole as well, guys. Like, it gets really bad. And I wouldn't say mukbang, like I wouldn't say luxury unboxings are as shocking, to be honest, as some mukbangs, but there is that shock value as well when you're watching a luxury unboxing that is done to excess. I think there are some channels which, you know, will unbox $500,000 of items from Louis Vuitton, or, you know, 10 Hermes items, and this amount of excess I think people sometimes find shocking and they can't look away. Some people also hate watch videos like this, and they think, how can they spend so much money, how can they consume that much luxury? And similar to mukbangs, people will hate watch people who overeat and think, how can they eat so much, that is disgusting. But it's something that you can't like look away from. And I personally don't watch mukbang videos because I don't find them that interesting or relaxing personally, but I understand the psychology behind people who do sometimes watch them because they're so shocking. And to be honest, mukbang YouTubers, it's a bigger industry than luxury YouTubers. You know, luxury YouTubers, there's not many that have like over 1 million followers. But with mukbangs, like there are YouTubers that have like over 10 million followers. It's more of a relatable thing, I think, eating as opposed to consuming luxury. But yeah, there's definitely that shock value with both of them that I think can be associated with watching videos which have like a sense of over consuming. For some people, if you're like on a diet or something, I think this is one of the main reasons why some people watch mukbangs, is because they're restricting their diet and they like watching other people eat because it makes them feel fulfilled. And I know that sounds a bit sick, but I think that's one of the reasons why some mukbang channels can be so popular, because a lot of the people who watch those mukbang channels are thinking about food, thinking of eating food, but they're not necessarily indulging, but watching someone else indulge makes them feel satisfied. I think it can be a same thing with luxury unboxings. You know, you might not ever feel the need, or you might not have the means to spend thousands of dollars on an item, but you get a lot of satisfaction out of watching somebody else unbox like $100,000 of Louis Vuitton, and you feel like, wow, like, yeah, you vicariously live through somebody, whether it's through their eating or shopping or doing anything to excess. I think that's a kick some people get out of constantly watching videos like this where you're being excessive. Yeah, I think with mukbangs, they can definitely be excessive, and same with luxury YouTube. It can be taken to the next level where it seems extreme, and this is what some people find satisfying to watch, because although they cannot spend that much money, they feel like, you know, they get the same joy out of it from watching someone else unbox these things. Unfortunately, both mukbangs and luxury channels can also be quite toxic, and I say that because anybody who has an addiction to food or shopping can be triggered from watching any kind of content like this. So if you have an addiction to food, which you know, it is a thing that some people have, by watching mukbang, it could trigger you to overeat, and you kind of feel like, wow, like you can't look away because you're so obsessed with food. And I think, unfortunately, similarly with luxury unboxings, a lot of people are addicted to shopping, and with engaging in luxury channels, if you know you are addicted to shopping, unfortunately that can sometimes trigger you to shop more and want to buy more and more things. And I think that's why luxury influencers can be so impactful and so good at selling product, because they have this kind of excessive lifestyle where it seems somewhat normal. And if you have an addictive personality, you can get sucked into that and also mirror that kind of behavior. You know, with my channel, I know I can be extremely excessive myself, and I'm aware of that, and I don't necessarily want to put out that toxicity and make people feel like they need to overconsume. But it depends on the viewer. As I said, the viewer could watch excessive unboxing and be satisfied by seeing someone else unbox it, but not actually engage in like spending thousands of dollars. But there are sorts of people who will watch that, get influenced, and then do the same thing. So it really depends on the viewer. And I know that mukbangs in some countries have kind of been like looked down on and said they're like evil, and, you know, it's promoting overeating and this sort of thing. But do I hate mukbangs? Like, honestly, I think it depends on how you're viewing it. If you're viewing it in a way that it's just something to relax to, I don't think it's that harmful, to be honest. But if it's, yeah, kind of sending you down a spiral where you feel like you're getting too obsessed with food, then it's probably a little bit self-destructive to keep watching mukbang videos. And I think similarly, unfortunately, with luxury unboxings, it can be seen as something to sit down and relax to and like watch other people unbox things. Or if you're somebody who is kind of, it triggers a shopping addiction in you, it could be actually a very toxic thing for you to engage in. And I know it's a bit weird for me to like say this so bluntly, but if you do have a shopping problem, I would try watch less luxury channels, as painful as that is, because I know that sometimes they influence me to buy more. I'm trying to change my mindset and see it from a different perspective of like, oh, they've bought that, but that doesn't mean that I need to buy that. And I think if you if you change your perspective of how you're viewing it, you don't necessarily have to make you feel like you also need to overconsume things, because it can be quite self-destructive and it will never be fulfilling at the end of the day. And, you know, these people who overconsume food or overconsume luxury or anything, they do feel the burn of that eventually. Like, people who overconsume food can put on a lot of weight. It can be damaging to their health. But people who overconsume luxury, although physically it might not do anything, you know, they've got an excess amount of stuff and they have to look after it and think about the storage and the temperature changes. You know, I think Jamie Chua hired people to install these temperature things for her Birkin room, and you know, they have to constantly manage the climate in her room because she has so many luxury items, and that in itself is, it can become a bit of a problem because you have too much stuff. Not to mention that there are most certainly a lot of people who fall into a lot of money problems when they overspend. I mean, I can totally be honest and say I really could have done a lot more with the money I've spent on luxury things. Although, you know, I don't want to look back in regret. You know, over-consuming luxury can be very harmful as well to you financially, and you do feel the burn of that afterwards, after all is said and done. So yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, you can look at luxury unboxings as a way to relax, or a way to live vicariously through somebody, or even to make you feel less lonely. But when it starts becoming toxic and you start kind of you know, overspending or overindulging yourself because you're influenced by somebody online, I think it's good to take a step back and understand why you're addicted to watching these videos and what it's doing to you subconsciously. Because unfortunately, like, YouTube, TikTok, all those social media platforms do affect us subconsciously and influence our behavior in our everyday lives. And that is why I don't use TikTok, because it is way too overwhelming for me, and I think it's just, for me, it would just probably waste my life even more watching it and influence me in more bad ways. But I'm not saying social media is evil, and I'm not saying luxury unboxings are evil. I think it's just good to understand why you're watching them and how they're making you feel, and change your attitude about them if you realize that they're becoming a little bit toxic for you to watch. And if you can't change the way you feel, maybe take a break from it and, I don't know, go outside, guys, because honestly, I definitely can relate to watching too much YouTube or engaging too much in social media, and it can kind of take over a little bit if you let it. So yeah, or make your own channel, guys, because I think that once you understand as well why you're watching something, you can actually be creative and use that understanding to create your own following or your own channel or TikTok or whatever, and I think that can be quite fulfilling in itself. So anyways, thanks for listening to my blabby video today. I just had a lot of thoughts I had to blab out as usual, and thanks for watching my video. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys on my next one. Bye!